being a single mom than a married single mom, despite the financial insecurity, sometimes housing insecurity, having to restart, removing the second adult from the home and just carrying 100% of the weight somehow turns out to be less stressful and causes less resentment than when you are sharing the house with someone who refuses to contribute. I know we're going to have triggered men jumping in the comments talking about how they work a full-time job, they're the breadwinner, they provide the health insurance, so how dare we say they don't contribute? But the contribution to a home is so much more than a paycheck. In most homes, both parents were working anyway. So both parents are managing their 40-hour work week, and then typically the mom is carrying 100% of the labor distribution within the home. I don't know why we call it distribution of labor when it's not distributed at all. The mental labor of being the CEO of your home, the boss of your entire family, is absolutely draining, and it's stressful. Somehow, when the other person's removed from the equation and all of it rests on your shoulders, it's easier. And I have literally heard from thousands of women in the comments that are saying the exact same thing. They may now be managing 2 or 3 jobs just to provide the same lifestyle for their kids, and they might be back in school full time, but they still say it's easier by themselves.
So when I was in the process of trying to figure out whether or not I wanted to get a divorce, one of my friends asked me, like, do you have a defining moment? And I was like, what is that? And she explained that whenever she left her daughter's father, that there was one thing that happened where she realized she was not going to be able to make it in that relationship. And they weren't married. And I was like, no, I don't have a defining moment. Like, I couldn't think of anything at the moment. Well, when you ask for shit, shit pops up. And so a couple weeks later, there was a defining moment. My ex-husband ended up into a car accident, and I was at work. This was Christmas Eve, and he didn't call me. I happened to call in to check on him, and that's how I found out that he got into a car accident, and he called his mom. I was a bit annoyed. I was grateful that he was okay, but I was a bit annoyed. Like, why didn't you call me? That was a crisis situation. I would have left work had I known that you got into a car accident. So after we got off the phone call and I processed it a little bit, I was really happy that nothing happened to him. But it had nothing to do with me. I didn't care about it for me. I cared about it for my kids. And that was my defining moment right then and there. And then about a week later, another incident happened. Tensions were high, and it frustrated the fuck out of me. And that's something I won't go into detail on here, but I will definitely talk to you about in Freedom Forward, my 8-week group coaching program. That was the fucking cherry on top. It was the first time I had cried in a long time. I remember reaching out to my business coach in like tears, and we were sending voice messages back and forth. And I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I have to be done. So that was December 31st. By the spring, I knew for sure that I had to leave. I just struggled to tell him because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I didn't want to break up my family. I didn't want to feel the judgment that may come. I was scared of the unknown. And so in June, I was like, okay, I'm going to tell him. June came and went, and I didn't tell him. I didn't have the balls. But by the time the fall rolled around, shit had changed. And I never planned for me to tell him that I wanted a divorce, but it happened during one of our conversations. By November 5th, I started moving into my apartment. In December, we had mediation. In February, I filed for divorce. And in May, we were divorced. So let me ask you, if you've made it to the end of this video, do you have a defining moment on when you decided that you wanted to get a divorce? And what have you done with your defining moment?
So the other day, my husband, who I've been married to for 17 years, but am now going to be divorcing, told me that marrying me was the biggest mistake he's made in his life. And I responded to it with like sarcasm and kind of snark, like, me, like marrying me, I'm the biggest mistake that you've ever made. Because that's how I usually have responded to those types of comments that he makes over the years. But later on, afterward, I kind of sat in my room and I actually cried. I cried about it, like sobbed, actually. And I thought to myself that this is actually a good sign, because I have spent so many years in our marriage listening to comments like that. You know, you've ruined my life. You took all my money. You're the worst person. And I've like numbed myself to it over the years. Like I just kind of numb myself or made excuses like, oh, he's just stressed, he's angry, or he's, going through a lot. And I just kind of went along with it and but to get through it, I just kind of had to numb myself. And I guess in a way, like had to diminish my own humanity to not let these things get to me so I wouldn't like fall apart. I had 2 kids to raise, a family to keep going. Like I couldn't afford to be hurt. You know what I mean? Now that I don't want to be married anymore, I am really telling myself that it's time for me to reclaim my humanity. And that means that there's going to be things that are going to be said to me that are going to hurt me. And I'm going to go ahead and like absorb that hurt. I'm going to feel the feelings. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to intellectualize. I'm just going to feel it. Let my emotions freely flow. And if that means I cry, I cry. If that means I get angry, I get angry. I'm going to feel again. I'm going to be a human being again. And that's probably one of the things I'm looking forward to in this entire process is I just want to be a person again.
I must have forgot that I really don't give a fuck about anything that y'all think I should be addressing. Bitch, I'm gonna address whatever the fuck I want to address. If you don't like it, get the fuck off my page or keep scrolling if you found me on the FYP. I don't give a fuck. But I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave it alone. I keep seeing a lot of videos of you pick me ass bitches, because that's what they be calling y'all, and you dusty ass niggas that like to talk shit about the females that been getting on social media lately crying about being single mothers. But let me just tell you bitch ass niggas something. These single mothers are not just single mothers without a man. Some of these women are single mothers that are married with a man. And I think that's the point that a lot of you bitch ass motherfuckers is missing. Tired. They're mentally and emotionally drained at this point. And that's what y'all are not. Instead of trying to uplift them and tell them, keep going, you got it. Y'all get on here and start talking shit, judging. Well, you shouldn't have had them kids. You shouldn't have been with that nigga. You shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. Bitch, most of the time, like I said, some of these women are married single moms and they're crying out for help because they can't catch a break with the motherfucker that they married. And even if they are single mothers, literally single mothers, who gives a fuck? If they had the kids, they taking care of the kids. It's okay for them to have a moment. You dumbass bitches go to fucking work and y'all cry about working 6 hours a day. And oh boss, I need an emotional moment in a day and I need a mental health moment and da 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 da. Bitch, if you get to have a mental health moment for going to work and doing what you're supposed to do and you're getting money for it, these mothers damn sure deserve to have a moment where they can have a mental health moment and they're not even getting paid for the shit. Yes, they chose to have kids. Yes, the father may have left. Yes, the father may still be present. But at the end of the day, most times, 9 times out of 10, the responsibilities are left on that woman. Everything, even if they are married, the responsibilities are left on the mother majority of the time. It's sad that y'all get on here and y'all be being so mean about that shit. But bitch, get on my shit and try to be mean to me. I'ma fuck you up with my mouth. And to all my single mothers, ladies, keep doing your shit. Single mothers married, single mothers relationships, single mothers. I don't give a fuck what type of single mother you are. Keep doing your shit, mama. Don't give up, because if you give up, then them kids ain't gonna have nobody. And we know that they need you. We know it, okay? I love you.
Single married moms. Yeah, that's a real term, and this is a prime example. You know that mom was happy. He finally volunteered to get up early and watch the baby while she can sleep. He went into that room, she took some ashwagandha to unwind, de-stress, and get a good night's sleep, right? Wrong. Baby comes rolling from behind you. Along with the baby back there doing God knows what, and you didn't even know. How the baby rolls up on you, in your face. You're still on your phone. Sir, what are you watching? The baby almost rolls over your damn foot. Slides it off the table. You don't even hear the slide off the table. Your peripheral vision is not even seeing a hand grab your cup of coffee, your cup of beer off the table. Thank God that wasn't hot coffee, because third-degree burns would have been all over your baby's face. Oh my God, oh my God. And you know, I don't care how dead sleep a mom is, when she hears, oh my God, and her child is not with her, she's a men that are still in this oblivious state when you have children. Stop it. Wake up. Help out. This is a shame. And not for nothing, women, we kind of know who we marry, right? we kind of had all the red warning signs prior to even getting married and having kids with these dudes. So like, let's listen, let's be in tune to the warning signs, because you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be that single married mom carrying all the bags, pushing the cart, changing the diapers, feeding the kids, cooking and cleaning, doing the laundry. I mean, the list goes on, and you're gonna be a zombie, and your husband's gonna be out playing golf.
The content that I create literally is relatable. I don't care what anybody say, because I'm married and still a single mom. That's relatable, because I know like 90% of married women, I don't care what you say, 90% go through the same thing with their husband, as far as you're the mom, you're always with the kids. Even if you work a 9 to 5, I don't care. I work a 9 to 5. I just haven't been to work since I had Halo, and I will return, and I'm still probably gonna be a single mom, because men can come and go as they please. They walk in the house when they want to, go sit down, relax, do whatever they're doing. Moms are cooking, cleaning, yelling at the kids all day. This is why statistics say that fathers are the more fun parent. Like, the fathers hit a fun gene for the kids, and then moms are just so stern. Okay, probably because we just tired all the damn time. Also, because we know the structure, right? Like, do y'all get it? Like, if I leave the house, I have to organize it. Okay, here's the diapers, here's the wipes, here's the clothes. Do this, do that. Men, y'all got it so good. You just walk in the house, leave when you want, run to the store. Matter of fact, you don't even say where you're going. Me, I feel like I gotta ask if I can go to the store. And the baby sleep. Is it okay if I leave for yada yada? Then when I'm out, the entire time I'm out, I'm kind of stressing. Like, dang, I need to hurry up and get home for him. I'm watching the camera on the bed to see if she's okay. Is she still asleep? If she's still asleep, I'm cool. If she wake up, I'm like, I need to hurry up and get back. I don't want him to go through what I have to go through. Why do I feel that way? And some people on here may be like, well, my husband does this, my husband that. Girl, well, then this video is not for you. Stop lying and acting like your life is just great. Listen, my life is, I take that back. My life is great. I have the best husband in the world. I'm just saying, as a woman, I'm still here by myself. Whether I'm at work or not, I'm still taking care of the kids more than the husband does, okay? And some of you guys said, well, your husband makes all the money. Girl, you don't know me or my life. I make money, okay? But I just have a husband that is gonna give me the money. I'm just saying.
Someone said to me the other day, there is nothing worse than being a single mom. And I was like, try being a married single mom, where you're in a relationship or you're married to someone who makes you feel single and alone in your role, because you do both roles by yourself. That is worse than being a single mom.
I'm a married single mom. Of course, my time doesn't matter. The only time that matters is his. I'm a married single mom. I have to ask him to watch the kids so I can go do something while he can just go do whatever he wants. I'm a married single mom who was a stay-at-home mom for about 7-8 years. So, of course, I didn't get any breaks. If I was getting a break, it's because they went to my mom's house for 12 hours. I'm a married single mom who's been looked at as the maid for the whole relationship. I'm a married single mom. People always say, well, why don't you tell your husband? He doesn't listen to me.
The hardest part about becoming a single mom is not just the fact that you actually have to, decide to leave. It's not the fact that, I am alone. I am, the family's broken, even though that wasn't the goal. Like, of course, those things are hard. Of course, parenting is hard alone. Everything's a struggle when you're doing this alone, because it wasn't meant to be alone. But for me, the hardest part that I think is breaking me down and making me feel like I did bad when it came to creating and keeping a family for my kids is the fact that I have a 4, almost 5-year-old daughter who, as much as people think, oh, it's not affecting her, y'all have no idea. Like, y'all have no idea the nights I'm up crying with my child because she wants mommy and daddy in the same house together. The time where just yesterday my child woke up crying and I'm asking her, why did you cry? Are you having a bad dream? And she says, no, I'm not having a bad dream. I'm having a good dream. The dream is of me, you, daddy, and brother, and we're all a family. And she proceeds to draw it on the back of our picture and gives it to me. And I mean boohoo crying about a good dream of her family being together. It's my daughter saying, hey, daddy doesn't love mommy. And my daughter recalling memories recent of that, of my kid's dad breaking things or getting angry, and mommy was the reason. And seeing mommy be mean towards dad, and that's what she thinks, is mom is just mad at daddy right now, and that's why we're in a different house. Like, those things break me, because it's not just that I'm having to heal my own heart at this point. I'm having to heal my daughter's heart, and I'm having to console a crying child for wanting her family together the same as mommy did. But it's even more heartbreaking that I have to console her as a little girl. Like, when my parents broke up, the father that married my mom, when they broke up, I was at least a teenager. So, by that point, I've watched years of negativity, years of abuse, years of violence between the two. And so I was actually ready for my mom to leave. And although I'm glad that I did leave before it got to that point, and I'm glad I left earlier rather than later, it's still not any easier, because at least as a teenager, I understood what was going on. This is a 4, almost 5-year-old that doesn't fully understand the depths of what went on. She doesn't understand that mommy had to leave for her own happiness and sanity. She doesn't understand that mom hates that she's seeing mommy and daddy be hateful towards each other and not positive and happy towards each other. Because I always promised myself, with what I grew up watching, I wanted my child to grow up with a family that showed love between each other. Like, I never wanted my kids to grow up. I'm sorry, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to cry at all, but I really hate that my child has to see negativity between mommy and daddy, and that we can't even co-parent without it being a bunch of BS. Like, it's to the point where now I'm having to decide we need space, which is still not good for my child because she loves her daddy. Both my kids love their daddy. For my daughter, who's literally a daddy's girl and built a bond with her daddy, it kills me that this is where we are. And so when it comes to single moms, I give every single mom grace. I give every mom, period, grace. But for a single mom, understand that the hardest thing is not just, now I'm on my own with 2 kids. Now I'm on my own financially. Now I'm on my own mentally. Now I'm on my own, period. It's the fact that while I have to heal my own broken heart, I also have to heal and take care of my daughters. And that is the part that's killing me. My son is 3. He, neither here nor there. He's not bothered by it. But for my daughter, it is bothering her, and it is bothering me bad. So yeah, just had to say that little piece on here, because everybody think this is easy when you choose to leave, or that, oh, to get easier, to get better, and oh, she don't realize that she's only 4. You should leave now. You should leave now. Again, glad I left now before it got worse. Um, but yeah, it's that point where I have to console my 4-year-old daughter almost daily, to the point where I'm crying with her almost every night because daddy's not there. That's all she knew. That's what she came into, and that's all she knew up until this year. So yeah, that's my piece.